Hello, my beautiful fountain friends. Welcome to Creepy Kids. I'm the Countess, and I got ink review time. Yay! This is one of the three I asked you guys to vote on, and of course, there is a tie. So yeah, 2 videos one day. I hope you like it. There's Uma, Beaver Dam Brown. A little preview of what's to come. I figured I'd give you the bad news first. I didn't really like this one. Very bizarre. On paper, on paper in the metaphorical sense, not on paper in the literal sense. I should have been obsessed with this, but yeah. I mean, we'll get it all that later. This is Colorverse Alpha Uma. Means Ursa Majoris, Ursa Major, Big Dipper, Great Bear. Fantastic roller coaster, by the way. It's part of their Constellation series. Start with some showing off of the swatch. I got this excellent gray. Like that green underneath and hints of purple. It looks great on the card. Yeah. But looking at this and going through my collection, I realized I have 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half, 5 inks exactly like this on the card. So yeah, here's Uma. This is Pelican Edelstein Moonstone. It isn't coming out quite right, but they're a lot more similar in person, I promise. The writing's pretty similar. This might be a teensy bit lighter. I like Moonstone better. It's gotten more shading, more juice. So there we go. But it has the same thing going on with that like green underneath. Like, it doesn't have as many little bits of purple. Probably should have showed this one first. This is Lamy Crystal Agate, which has got a lot more going on. It's a little bit more green in the writing than Uma. It's still remarkably similar kind of dealio going on there. This is Stipula Fading Gray, which apparently was mislabeled a lot of places as Stipula Dark Gray. So then I got a bottle of Stipula Dark Gray, and this is not what dark gray is. So this is their lighter gray, Fading Gray. Because I got it, I was like, why is this dark gray so light? But I love it. But yeah, I guess we'll detour. Which one's it in? Which one's it in? Which one's it in? Fuddruckers. This one. Right? Nope. Oh. Okay, I think I found it. Oh my god, no I didn't. Wow, I'm a terrible person, and I hope that I become obliterated in time. Oh. No, this is all Ferris wheel press. This is Stipula Dark Gray. Actually kind of a brown, but it is very dark. I'm gonna keep this out for the next one. I didn't even think about putting them in with the comparisons for that one. Anyway, yeah, same dealio, except it's a little bit deeper, maybe a little bit warmer too, but they look remarkably similar as well. And here's Mont Blanc Oyster Gray. It's a little bit cooler, but still, again, same kind of dealio in the swatchy bit. And this is La von Faber-Castell Stone Gray, which doesn't do a whole lot of the same thing, but there's hints of it there. And I figure this is relatively popular. As it should be. It's a fucking fantastic ink. I know it's Chris Sainz's favorite gray. And I support that choice 100 and bajillions%. Yep. Anyway. So that's those. So thankfully I have something already like this, but performs better. So I don't have to be super sad that I don't like it. I'm kind of happy that I'm not going to end up getting myself a bottle of it anytime soon. Let us look at the chromatography. Sorry, it took a second to get started there. All right, there's the regular one, the one I let dry. Here we go. What is with the shadows here? What are you doing? So that yellow at the bottom, and it goes up into a lighter gray, and it's like kind of periwinkly cornflower blue kind of going on there. It's kind of pretty. And then there's like a little bit more gray, and then this like weird more blue, like this really light, it's like a blue and blue-green aqua color. Just all the way at the tippy top. I don't know why that pushed up higher than all the others, but, you know, that's what it did. It's pretty cool. And this is the one I let dry. That bottom portion is significantly darker. We get some of that blue blooming out underneath. So it seems like all of this part stuck around here, and then just push the blue up. And then there's none of that, a little bit of aqua. Probably should have done this one again, just to see if, like, this part was a fluke or not. Whatever. Interesting chromatography. It's pretty pretty. It's not, a reprehensible shade of blue for me, which is saying something. Here is the bleach test, turned bright as yellow. Very interesting. It does cool stuff with water. I will give it that. But it feathered. It feathered on watercolor paper. How did you do that? Like, what? Hey, you see that green there? Fades away. Get the purple on like the border of the water part. It was pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Here's the doodle I did. Not very proud of it, but I did it anyway. So yeah, you can get some variation out of it. For certain. With some water, and that bloomed that like purple. So that was really cool. That nice texturing there. Some dry brushing. But yeah, you know, I'm more unhappy with my composition than I am with the way the ink looks on watercolor paper. So if you're exclusively using this for that, it's pretty good. It's pretty great. Not going to complain. Pens used. We have PenBBS 350. This one has got Nemosine Jovo Fine Nib. I did try this in an extra fine first to see if I wanted to do that instead, and it barely showed up. So maybe not so good for that. Next, we have PenBBS 352. This one has got Nemosine Jovo 0.8 Stub. And my TWSBI Diamond 580 Rose Gold, which I have removed this ink from because I want to use it for something else. I just don't know what, but I don't want that ink in this pen. So that's the preface for the paper test. Paper test. This is Clairefontaine, 90 grams. All right, I promise you, it does not shade this much in person. It does not look so good. It's pretty flat. I had to alter the white balance a bit so the color of the ink would come up correctly, so ignore the like yellowy, ultra warm tones of the paper, because that's not real. You see, it's a lot more flat than I was expecting. Maybe it's just because I had high hopes for it that I wasn't like super into it. Ink seemed really like aggressive is the primary word I would describe it. I really wanted to like get in that paper. Yeah. I don't know. I'm struggling to find more to say about it. It doesn't really do it for me. This is the kind of gray that I should like, but I wasn't super into it. It was kind of dry. Didn't really like glide across the paper. And even that 580 broad nib couldn't save it. I mean, it wrote. It got out of the pen. I didn't have like shitty skipping issues or whatever. Yeah, dry times weren't bad. 17 in the fine, 21 in the stub, and 32 in the broad. This swatch looks... I don't... like, this part's cool, but I don't... It looks, like, really gritty. So I guess that's what I meant by, like, aggressive. It's really the kind of... It eats the pulp. A water test, however, excellent, superb, as expected from that chromatography, but yeah, it turned like greeny yellow where the water hit it, but it's like definitely dark, absolutely recoverable. At first I was like, wait, did I forget to do the water? No, I didn't. There's like a haze or like a yellowy bit around, but yeah. And on the back, there's no bleed, no ghosting on this paper. Good in that department. Next we have Maruman Mnemosyne, 8 gram per square meter. And that swatch, really grainy looking. I don't know why. Yeah. Good. A little bit of shading in there, but I swear in person, it looks so flat. I don't know. Am I just like hallucinating it improperly? It doesn't look as varied. Like that looks like some pretty dope shading, but it doesn't look like that in real life. There's no like, I don't know, it doesn't like feather and stuff like that. Let's see it. Graininess. 17 in the fine, 22 in the stub, and 35 in the broad. Water test again. Superb, excellent. It's turned a little yellow again. Yellowy green color. Oh, the back, a little bit of ghosting there. Looks like it wants to bleed. That's the swatch, so I'm gonna ignore that. And again, there's some ghosting down here. It's weird. It's pretty thick paper. It doesn't really work like that most of the time. Here's the Rhodia. 8 gram. Can you see that like grainy look? Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty dry. As far as like the writing experience went. You know what I mean? I can't speak. But yeah, maybe it's just the texture I'm not into. It's like a sensory thing. 15 in the fine, 26 in the stub, 21 in the broad. I could go over that again because it wasn't. Sometimes I had some trouble getting it to flow out of the pen nicely, but that could have been any number of factors. I don't want to specifically blame the ink. Again, swatch, you get some variation there, but none of that really cool, you know, where I put the cards? Here. See, I thought it might kind of like act a little dual shady. Of all the different colors in here, but it didn't at all. You only get vague hints of it in swatches. And that's all. Water test, again, really good. Really good. Stuck around almost completely. It barely turned that greeny yellow color at all. On the back, a little bit of ghosting there. But not really. It's like it wants to, but it doesn't really commit. I'm surprised I didn't get any bleed in swatch, but maybe I didn't lay it on super thick. Oh, there it is. My thumb was over it. There's a little bit of trying to ghost over there too. Yeah, the Rhodia. Rhodia's Rhodia, you know. Tomoe River 68 gram cream. I quite liked it on this paper color-wise. It's kind of nice. So, maybe that's a little better. Lighting is always awkward. Did I say this was 68? It's 68. And it does a little bit more shady stuff, and there's like kind of like a halo here. So I liked that. That was alright. I think I primed the feed in between the so and the many. I feel like I did a lot of feed priming with this ink, just so I can get it to do something, but it didn't do the something I wanted it to. Took 20 seconds to try and define, 21 in the stub and 35 in the broad. So like good dry times. And then the swatch looks pretty nice. There's a lot more of that like purpley blue color. Not as much as like the green, yellow dealio going on. Water test, again, excellent. I wonder if I even did it, but I know I did because the paper's crinkly. And on the back, nothing really. Looks like maybe it wants to try and ghost over that part. But, you know, hey. Tomoe River being nice. Little splotches in the swatch, but that's it. Here's the white. That swatch is probably my favorite than it was on all of the other papers. We're going to talk about the paper I actually kind of liked it on, where it seemed to at least attempt to do things. But this is not that one. That's okay, but like that's a really, really wet feed. You get a halo there? That's cool. Is that in person? I'm looking at it through the camera. I swear it's not this dramatic. So, I guess if you're making a video, this ink would be pretty great, you know? If you're looking to enjoy the writing experience, I don't know if I would recommend it. But yeah, it took 26 seconds to try and define, 22 in the stub, and 53 in the broad. There's just such a weird, so fucking weird dry times. I don't know why. Even here, it still looks grainy. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a pigment ink? That could be why. That's why it sticks around so good too. This one turned a little bit yellower than it did on all the other papers, but this is the 52 gram Tomoe River, and it does that. I gotta work on not being so growly. Yeah, don't ruin the paper. Just like a few attempts coming through, but it does not succeed in any of them. Even the swatch, it's just a little bit ghosting. And then there's that right there, but, you know. Non-issue, it's skinny paper. Here's an HP Premium Laserjet 32 pound, which this one brought out so much of that like fuzziness in it. I really was not here for it. I wanted to crawl in a hole and die during this whole experience. It's... I even tried it on the back to see if maybe the other side of the paper would be better, but it was not. So I just continued on this one. It's just... gross. I hate it. Oh, let's go back to... Here, that's better. It took 2 seconds to dry across the board. So it's just like... in the paper. And there's the swatch that I could not stand to do a larger one of Send Shivers on My Spine. But it looks a lot more green than it did on the others. See what I mean? This one has like variation, and this one's just like a murky kind of pond scum over gray. Water test, however, magnificent. Nothing moved. It didn't go anywhere. That's pretty cool. And then on the back, there's like ghosting. It like almost bled here. How do you bleed on paper this thick? This is like a fucking cardboard box. I don't understand. But yeah, there's like quite a heavy amount of ghosting. Is that a dot of bleed? Almost. Oh, it's like right there. Swatch bled. I don't even go over it that hard. It's just try and scrape the nib across it quickly. But yeah, like how do you do that? I don't understand. Yeah, there's that one. Here's the shitty copy paper. This thing exploded. It exploded. Not as much as it maybe would on a wetter ink. But like, whoa. Look at that. Absolutely horrific. Very gross. All over the place. It doesn't do that like spidery feathering. It does that fuzzy feathering. And I guess I've seen worse. I have seen worse, but this is still pretty bad. Oh god, look at it looks so gross. It looks so gross. And it dried instantly across the board. I couldn't even smear it at all. Not a micrometer. There's the swatch, like, destroyed the paper. But you still get a little bit of that color variation. The whole thing is just flat. There is doesn't do anything at all. The only parts where it looks a little darker is like where I went over, because like that's how you write. And it like dried instantly, so you're like layering ink on top of ink instead of it doing that shady stuff naturally. Water test, yeah, the water did worse than the ink did. Looks a little kind of gray, but that could just be paper absorbing water. There we go. And on the back, everything bled all over this. Yeah, in case you want to know how bad this paper is, that bled everywhere. Every single line, there is at least a dot of bleed. And yeah, it didn't go through to the next page, so that was comforting. But I guess it dries too fast to do that. It just like sinks into the paper and then just evaporates, you know? That's that. Here is the wonderful, beautiful Midori MD Cotton paper. Didn't hate it. It's actually kind of nice. Like that's shading that's actually in person. But it still looks pretty flat overall. I wish I had more to say about it. But I can't like start gushing about how good it is and how much of a pleasing experience I had because I didn't. And I'm just bitching the whole fucking video. But, you know, that's what you signed up for. You voted for this, okay? Okay? But yeah, 21 in the fine, 23 in the stub, and 37 in the broad. That swatch looks really cool. Like, look at all that purple. There's so much purple there. That's dope. Water Chest did worse than I think even the 52-gram Tomoe River. Yeah. Took away a little bit more. It looks darker just because it, I guess, was on the paper. But, like, yeah, there's so much more of that yellow. Definitely lightened up there. Still like that, but, you know, it's stuck around, like, firmly. And then on the back, little attempts at ghosting. Yeah. And on the Leuchtturm, this was the only paper I actually quite enjoyed the way this looked. Can I? Oh no, there's no room. We're gonna look at it upside down. Look at that, you actually get some shading. Oh. So that was actually kind of cool, actually. The swatch looks pretty good. And, like, the lines don't look super, like, the inside of the words, they don't look super fuzzy. They're still a little fuzzy, but... that might be a little better. Yeah. I like that I can change the white balance on the fly. That's nice. I took 26 in the fine, 32 in the stub, and 50 in the broad. Yeah, I'm liking this paper a lot more than I thought I would. But hey, you know, I guess, oops, I guess we get to end on something of a high note. That was, oh, hold on, they go there. That Colorverse Constellations number 13 Alpha Uma. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I was sad that day, and I was hoping that the ink would cheer me up, and it did not. It just reflected my internals. Yeah, anyway, that was fun. I hope you had fun. This was fun. Happy Transgender Awareness Week, that this transgender was not aware of. Punch Nazis, I love you. Bye!